Hi and welcome to Morbid History, and to this little jauntily macabre ramble about Scandinavian folklore. And we're delving into Our Lady of the Woods, the Skogsrå. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it.
Every job must be carefully analyzed to ensure the...
So, first of all, what is a Skogsrå? Her name translates into forest guardian. Skog in Swedish is forest, and rå means råa över, which is to guard. So that was her main goal in life, to guard that forest. But she was also seen as a trickster or mischievous spirit. Neither good or bad, though. It all depended on how you treated her first. But beyond that, what did she look like? Well, that depends on where in Scandinavia you are. Where I'm from, she usually is a very beautiful lady seen from the front, with fox-like attributes. Almost like those plastic surgeries where they put the thing in there, you know. But au natural, she looked like a fox. And that was all fine and dandy. She was dressed in very fancy clothing that did not fit the environment, you know, deep in the dark woods. But if you saw her from the back, she would be like an empty, rotten tree trunk. In the northern parts, she usually has a cow tail or a fox tail. With this beautiful facade, even with the tree trunk back bringing her down a few pegs, she really liked to play tricks on men and seduce them and all that fun stuff, of course. Not all descriptions of the Skogsrå were pretty though. There's this kind of funny story that a soldier in the 1700s told when he had ran into the Skogsrå and he was in military court because he had deserted or something. And he said that she had short, dark hair, a crooked nose, and the nose tip went beyond her lips, and she had dangly, flabby mammaries, and her eyes were like a bug-eyed horse. But he still did her. Yeah, the story says he still was enchanted enough, I guess. But that's a funny description that I just wanted to get in here. As an example of her mischievous nature, if she found someone walking around alone in the woods and she was just looking for a good time, she could scramble their little brains until they were entirely lost in the woods. While they were walking in circles, you could hear her maniacal laugh echo above the trees. But there was a way to break her spell. You had to take off all your clothes and put them on again backwards. And that way you could break her spell and get the heck out of that forest. The very first written mention we have of the Skogsrå is from the 1600s. We do believe, though, that she has evolved from some kind of Norse pagan goddess of the forest that the Christian missionaries and, you know, when Christianity came, and they were like, no, you can't believe in stuff like that. So, yeah, they kind of made her and other forest gods and goddesses into the devil's minions. And, well, it's easy enough to see how she evolved into the folklore creature that we all know and love today. So with that, let's get into some of the stories that we have written down. Few records of people meeting the little Skogsrå. First up, we have one that shows off her mischievous nature. There was this miner out in the deep woods looking for, I guess, a cave to mine, it was getting dark and he was looking for some place to stay over the night. He was tired and it was cold AF. Suddenly he sees this wondrous, beautiful lady. She was dressed as finely as a priestess' daughter. And you know, priests, back in those days, they were rich. So yeah, she was fancy out here in the woods. And she went up to the miner and they started chatting. He was enthralled. Look at her, wow. And she said, why don't you come over to my little place? It's close by, you can sleep over if you want. And he was very happy to do that. Very happy indeed. He followed the lady to her very, very fancy house. Like, what is this house doing out here? Well, rich people can be eccentric. It was the fanciest house he had ever seen. The wallpapers, wow. The furniture, oh my god. And yeah, then the Skogsrå fancy lady told him that she indeed wanted to hit the hay in her fancy bed with him, and he complied. He went to her soft, luxurious bed and took off all his clothing and put them neatly on a chair next to the bed. And while they were lying there, he got so into the moment that he just shouted out loud, God, Jesus Christ, Amen, or something. What have I done to deserve all this splendor? And the moment he mentioned God and all that, he woke up, or he found himself lying in a dirty swamp, submerged in mud. His clothes dangling off a rotten branch nearby. And he could hear from far away the maniacal cackling of the Skogsrå. Just the mention of anything doing like God, Jesus, Christianity could break the spell. You take what you want out of that story. Another one entails a young boy. He was out at the market in his tiny little village when he saw a lady. The fanciest... No, I need to find other synonyms for the word fancy. It was a luxurious lady. He had never seen such fine clothing before. She was just like walking around looking at the things at the stalls. I guess she had thought, heck, I'll have a day at the market today. I'm bored of the trees. But the boy noticed that she had a tail sticking out from underneath her skirt. The boy had been told by his mom that he should always be respectful and kind to strangers. So he went up to the Skogsrå and told her, sorry miss, I can see your petticoat. Which of course meant the tail, so not to embarrass her. She was thrilled, happy, delighted by the little young boy that she gave him a little bag of coins. And she told him that if he never ever uses the last coin in the bag, it will always fill up again. And thus the boy was never short of money, because he had a magic little coin purse. And that is the story of how she isn't a mean spirit if you treat her kindly. Another one of those similar stories is about two hunters that were out in the woods, and they also run into the Skogsrå. In this story, they notice quite quickly that something's wrong with her and suspect that she is indeed a Skogsrå. The thing is just that the two hunters were very different in their approach to her. One of them was just very kind and respectful, kept his distance. The other one started taunting her and being mean. Like, I can see your tail. Stuff like that. Ah, you're the Skogsrå, hihihi, ha ha ha. And the Skogsrå went up to them and asked to see their guns or rifles. They complied. She blew into the nice man's gun and said, "This is a very good gun," and gave it back. Then she took the rude man's gun, blew into that one and said, "This is a very bad gun," and gave it back. And then she left. So yeah, we can guess what happened. The kind man had good luck in hunting for the rest of his life, while the rude man couldn't shoot anything. He couldn't shoot a dang tree if he was standing a centimeter away from it. Kinda. So again, please be kind to fancily dressed weird ladies prancing around, either in the woods or at the markets, sometimes. It does help in your life. Put that in your brain vault, in your noggin, for future reference. Golden nuggets. Here you have them. Boop. You're welcome. And then we have the last story, in which a jilted wife, I'd say, tricks the Skogsrå back. Either way, this was a family of farmers living, doing their things as they did. The man in the family, the husband, he had been out in the woods one day doing things, maybe chopping down some trees or hunting, when he came upon the Skogsrå and was enchanted and had a little rendezvous with her. And after that, the Skogsrå took quite a fancy on the man, so she claimed him. He was now spellbound by her, and if she called, he came running. This disturbed his duties at home. You know, he never did his job. He didn't chop the wood or even, yeah. The wife got annoyed. Like, where the heck is my husband? I need to do something about this. And she came up with a grand plan. She went out into the forest to find the Skogsrå. She wasn't hard to find. Look, the fancy lady over there that looks like a rotten tree from the back. The Skogsrå could be quite vain, so the wife just complimented her a lot. And, "Oh, wise, beautiful lady, I have a problem. My bull at home, he just doesn't care about our cows. He just goes to the neighbor's cows. What should I do?" And the Skogsrå, with an inflated ego, she said, "Yeah, well, I'll help you. It's easy. Just mix this little potion and have your bull drink it, and he'll never stray from your cows again." The wife went home, mixed the little potion, and of course gave it to her husband, and his spell was well and thoroughly broken. You could hear the Skogsrå cry in despair out there in the woods, 'cause she had indeed been tricked. Flattery gets you everywhere. Thank you all for watching this rambly little video, and a giant thanks to my lovely heroes, my Patreons. From the bottom of my heart, you mean the world to me, and it's thanks to you that I can keep this little channel running. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss my future videos. And also, again, giant thanks for all the love on my last Pilvi Tea Time video. And thanks for 2K again. Stay amazing, stay hydrated, and most of all, stay morbid, and I'll see you soon.